Falguni Patel. Today I am going to teach you the first chapter of English Standard 6. The name of the chapter is Who Did Patrick's Homework? Before reading the chapter to you, let me give you a small introduction about it. In this chapter, there is a small boy who is very lazy in doing his homework. One day he finds a small tiny boy who helps him in doing his homework, and finally he gets A grade in all his subjects. His teachers were proud of him and his parents were amazed to see the changes in him. Now he's an idle boy. So let us read the chapter in detail and understand it. Let us begin.
Patrick never did homework. Too boring, he said. He played hockey and basketball and Nintendo instead. His teachers told him, Patrick, do your homework or you won't learn a thing. And it's true. Sometimes he did feel like an ignoramus. But what could he do? He hated homework. You're the small boy Patrick. He just hated doing his homework. He only liked playing hockey, basketball, and Nintendo. Nintendo is a video game. His teachers used to scold him for not finishing his homework and told him if he doesn't do anything, he will lag behind. Ignoramus is a person lacking education. But what could he do? He simply hated doing his homework. Then one day, he found his cat playing with a little doll and he grabbed it away. To his surprise, it wasn't a doll at all, but a man of the tiniest size. He had a little wool shirt with old-fashioned breeches and a high, tall hat, much like a witch's. He yelled, Save me! Don't give me back to that cat. I'll grant you a wish. I promise you that. Now one day when Patrick was sitting, he found his cat playing with a tiny doll. He went close and he picked it up, and he was surprised to see that it wasn't a doll, it was a tiny man who was wearing a wool shirt and old fashioned breeches. Breeches are old, small trousers, pants, and high tall hat, just like the witches. And he started shouting, Save me from this cat, and I will promise you I will grant you a wish. Patrick couldn't believe how lucky he was. Here was the answer to all of his problem. So he said, Only if you do all my homework till the end of the semester, that's 35 days, if you do a good enough job, I could even get A's. Now, Patrick was very happy and he thought, now I have the solution to all my problems. I don't have to do any homework anymore. He told the elf that, okay, you will have to do my homework till 35 days. And if you do the job properly, I will get A grade in my semester. The little man's face wrinkled like a dishcloth thrown in the hamper. He kicked his leg and doubled his fist, and he grimaced and scowled and pursed his lips. Oh, am I cursed? But I'll do it. Now this man, he started wrinkling his face like a dishcloth thrown in a hamper. Dishcloth is a piece of cloth which is used to clean the dishes, and hamper is a basket having a lid. And grimaced, scowled, and pursed is an action to show anger and disapproval. But what to do? He agreed to do it. And true to his words, that little elf began to do Patrick's homework. Except there was one glitch. The elf didn't always know what to do, and he needed help. Help me, he'd say, and Patrick would have to help in whatever way. There was just one problem with the elf. It was that he never knew what to do and how to do the homework. So whenever he started doing homework, he used to start shouting and ask help from Patrick. And Patrick had to help him in each and every possible way. I don't know this word, the elf squeaked while reading Patrick's homework. Get me a dictionary. No, what's even better? Look up the word and sound it out by each letter. He started shouting, Get me a dictionary. And then he said, Okay, do one thing. Instead of bringing a dictionary, read out each and every word letter by letter. When it came to maths, Patrick was out of luck. What are timetables? The elf shrieked. We elves never need that. Now, when it came to maths, Patrick used to be out of luck because the elf didn't know anything about maths and about timetables because the elves never need them. And additions and subtractions and division and fraction. Here, sit down besides me. You simply must guide me. The elf told him that I don't know anything about addition, subtraction, division, and fraction, so you have to come and sit next to me and guide me for each and everything. Elves know nothing of human history. To them, it's a mystery. Yes, even about human history, it is all related to the past of human, which is just a mystery for the elf. So the little elf, already a shouter, just got louder. Go to the library. I need books, more and more books, and you can help me read them too. Now, the elf who was already shouting at Patrick, he started getting more and more louder and started telling him, go to the library and bring me more and more books and help me out. Read them all. As a matter of fact, every day, in every way, that little elf was a nag. What is a nag? Nag is a person who keeps troubling or irritating somebody for each and every small work. Patrick was working harder than ever, and was it a drag? He was staying up nights, had never felt so weary, was going to school with the eyes puffed and blurry. Now Patrick was working more and more harder than before. He had to stay up at nights, whole night. He used to be awake and do his homework. His eyes used to get puffed. Finally, the last day of school arrived, and the elf was free to go. As for homework, there was no more, so he quietly and slyly slipped out the back door. Now, finally, when the day arrived of the last day of the school and the homework was over, so what did that elf do? He slyly slipped out of the back door. Slyly means secretively. He went away from the outdoor, from the back door. Patrick got his A's. His classmates were amazed. His teachers smiled and were full of praise. And his parents, they wondered what had happened to Patrick. He was now the model kid. Cleaned his room, did his chores, was cheerful, never rude, like he had developed a whole new attitude. Now, Patrick finally got his A in his semester, and his classmates were very amazed. His teachers were smiling and they were very proud of Patrick. And even his parents, they were wondering what had happened to Patrick. They thought suddenly Patrick has changed. Now he has become a model kid. He started doing all his household chores. Chores are the daily routine work which we do, which are quite boring. He started doing all his household chores, was cheerful, he was never rude, like he had developed a whole new attitude. His attitude had completely changed. You see, in the end, Patrick still thought he'd made that tiny man do all his homework. But I'll share a secret, just between you and me. It was the elf. Patrick had done it him. It wasn't the elf. Patrick had done it himself. Here, there is a twist in the story. That is, it is a secret. The elf didn't do the homework of Patrick. It was Patrick himself who had done all his homework.